Stitches of love we weave so. In this online world we come to grow. Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, where hearts align. Let's embrace the craft and let our souls shine.
Hey everyone, welcome to Weekend Project. I'm Laura Lynn of the Mom and Pop Quilt Shop, and we're going to make something sunflowery today. I was inspired by just the sunflowers just growing around us, and I thought I had this material here that to me kind of looks like seeds, you know, as the sunflower is growing. And I've got lots of little mix and matches of colors of fabric, so why not try and make something? So what I did is I used my clock here that I have in the quilt shop to use as my template for that one. So I think that one ended up being 13 or 14 inches across, and then this is just a lid to like a little cheesecake container, and I use that for the smaller one. So I thought if you did a big one and a small one and had the flowers going out, it'd be really kind of cute as like a little table topper. But you don't have to. You can have it maybe even just this one or even just a small one. So we'll do the small one today right now, and I'll show you, okay, just how it comes together. So to get the shape of like the petal, I just kind of did a little arch up and an arch down. I took inspiration from the medieval arches that you find in castles and doorways and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, put a seam on that, and if we tucked it in a little bit, that seems like it would be like a pretty petal. Now you could do this for a daisy as well, you know, when you think about it, they're very similar in shape, right? So I took this little template that I made just out of some medium stabilizer, some stiffy stabilizer, and I just got some chunks of fabric, and when I doubled it up to make sure I had enough space to be able to trace around my whole project, actually let's scoot it over here. Okay. Try and utilize it as much as possible. And then I just put a little pin in it to hold it while I traced it out. Make sure I had enough at the bottom. You can you don't have to be like chop it all off the bottom because it's going to be hidden in the seam allowance, so it doesn't really matter. You just really want the basic shape. You could do this bigger or smaller. Okay, I just kind of did this. I think I have it as about 4 inches tall and like 3 or 4 wide. So it's just like a basic little archy shape. Okay, and I just trace that out with a pencil or whatever you're comfortable with, a little marker. Nobody's ever going to see that, okay? And I just take that out so I'm not cutting my template by accident when I come and cut around the shapes. Okay. And then lop it off there. And this is a great way to scrap bust, something very unique for somebody, right? Even for yourself. I know lots of people love sunflowers, like myself, and we actually plan to grow them here at the on the property. So I have made a bunch already. But I'm going to show you how to. I thought I had some other ones. Sew them together. Okay, so you just take them, but then start putting them right sides together. Right sides together. They just were tucked at the back. Okay, so we'll do those and those. Okay, so we'll just line them up, and we're just going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance to go up and then down, and just chain piece them. Just chain piece them one after the other after the other. It's just the easiest way to get her done. Okay, so we'll do those 4. You can see. Just a normal stitch on your machine, straight stitch. Mine is at a 2.4. I have a Janome Memory Craft 6700P. So I call that Janie. She's like my workhorse. She does all the heavy stuff that I want to do. And we've making some bags and totes and stuff like that lately, so I've been having a lot of fun with her. I know a lot of people don't name their machines, but I do. I need also our car. When I had my Jeep Wrangler 2007, her name was Beatrice. She was Red Rock, or Rock Red, which is kind of like a burgundy kind of color. So, I mean, we've named all of our vehicles. I mean, my first motorbike, I called it Freddie. So. Do you name your machines, and what do you name them? Okay, so now we have those just easily chain pieced. You can do this like lickety split. Okay, and then what I did to try and make sure that we have some nice peaks at the top here, I just clipped it off. Do-do-do, do-do-do. And I did separate them because I was mixing and matching them as I was laying them around the project. But if you had them all in one color and that was what you were using, you don't actually have to separate them at this point in time, right? Now you just want to take it and flip so the right side is out facing. Now you can come with like a blunt pencil or a chopstick or something like that, and then make sure you're coming to make that point as precise as possible. Okay. Just flip the right side out. Don't use a sharp pencil, you're just going to poke right through. So this is one of my blunt pencils. I was just about to sharpen it. I'm like, no, actually I can use it for this. Okay. Or you can have a dedicated tool for that. I mean, that's all of it. And you give it a little press, or not. I don't think I did because I added it for the fluffiness. So then you're going to take one of your circles. Like I said, this was like the same size as this little container right here. Okay. We're going to take that. And then we're going to take and fold our pleats. Like for this big one here, what I did is I just folded them in on itself for half, and then half, and then that was it. That's all I did for these ones. For the smaller one, and you of course can add as many as you like going around. I just did them one space apart just to see what it would look like. I thought, okay, let's see how this rolls out. For this one here, I think I'm going to do like a little fold and tuck and fold and tuck, because we're going to have this one just be a little bit more thick. Okay, and then what I did is I laid it so the petal side that I wanted up but was down. Okay, and then you can put a little clip. Whatever makes you happy. Get your next piece. If you want them all the same color, that's great. I'm just kind of tucking it in and folding it, and tucking it in and folding it. So, but it's not, it doesn't have to be an exact, right? This is, we're just adding some dimension to a petal. Okay. So it's just like that. You can see how I just kind of folded it. And then line the next one up. I'm going to kind of a little bit stack them this time, a little bit more on each other. And then when I went around and did a stabilizing stitch, like a base stitch all the way, like really close to the edge, just to make sure that I didn't have to fiddle and faddle with the clips as I was trying to put the top on, sort of thing. Okay. Now you can make this as elaborate or as plain as possible. And like I said, it would work for daisies. It would work for obviously sunflowers. I liked mixing the colors of the yellow and the orange. That just, I don't know, just made it fun. Okay. I'm gonna have to pop a few pins in here. Okay, and fold another. And then just have some fun. You could have it so it's just one space, and then I come back and fill in the other gaps all the way around, whatever you like. You know, be creative. That's the joy of working with fabric, is the creativity we have available to us. Right? Just fold. Tuck. Pin. We could shift it a little bit better as we're going around. Nature is beautiful no matter what. Actually, we have some relatively nice weather here today. We did actually have a scheduled power outage last night, so it was a bit annoying. The boys did not get any sleep because they need CPAP machines, but I keep thinking every time we know we're getting close to having a storm or some winter weather or like that, it makes me, oh, we need to get ourselves one of those like portable units like the Yetis or the Jackeries and stuff like that, one for each of them, so they can have it in their space to make sure they can actually have a sleep, because there's nothing worse than trying to get up to go to work for the next day and you haven't got a wink of sleep because the power's been out since 8 the night before. I mean, it came on, but it was like 4:30 or something. But that's you're not getting any sleep with that. Okay. or almost there. It just doesn't, well, I did this way fuller than I did the first one. So, and working in a smaller circle. So, we're just, we're making it. We're having fun. Aren't we? I am. Oops. Shifted a little. That's okay. That actually worked out. If you wanted, you could actually have folded all those beforehand and then zipped them through the machine to get them all the same spacing apart. Got some more here. Yep. Okay, probably just enough to finish. Here's what I'm going. I had like 25. No, actually, I think that's how many that's in the top. Bigger one here is 25 little petals. Make sure you're moving it so the edge is on the edge. Pop ordered me some more clips, so I'm super excited to be able to use those. A couple more. Like I say, you can just use one color, use two colors, I've got 4 colors going on here, but that's just, you know, I've been really inspired by the beautiness and the multi-tones that you can find in sunflowers. And it's a nice, pretty thing you can make yourself and enjoy all year round, right? Okay, so I think we're gonna have maybe room for 1 more or 2 more, or we'll figure it. Do I want it to be the same as that? Well, I don't care. I don't care. I don't know and I don't care. Actually, I do, but I want the randomness of it too. Okay, so let's do. Boy, we kind of little spiraled that, didn't we? Okay, 1 more. That's all we have left for, so here's hoping it's enough. Now, if you wanted to, you can also add some green leaves to pop out. You know, that would be kind of cool, or make it so it's attachment from the underside. Okay, now we're going to zip this underneath the machine and come really close and just grab the folded edge of the petal as well as the circle we're trying to sew it all down onto, okay? Kind of pretty just like that. Okay. Gotta start somewhere, so let's just start over here. Here's hoping we don't pop no pins. And we're trying to get the circle of what we're putting it on, as well as the leaves. And it doesn't matter if it's not absolutely like every petal is perfect and it's proper spacing, because nature is not perfect. So don't expect that from yourself. Okay, here's open. If I missed anything, I can flip it over to the other side and get a better look of what may have been missed on the circle as I come around. So, okay. So I'm not worried about missing the circle or missing anything. I can always double check it. And I think this would be a lovely table topper for the end of summer and beginning of fall, or even right at the beginning of summer. Could go for the whole season. Okay, let's go lift this so we can get the birdie out of the way. There we go. Okay, now let's take a look at the other side. Oops. Sure, first. Okay, let's take a look at here. Did everybody? Okay, that's a little bit shallow, but everybody is good. Okay, other than that, let's take in just a wee bittens here. Good. There we go. Okay, close it all in there. Okay, now to the table, and we can just flip it out to take a look. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then oops, we don't need that pin. Okay. And then we go to put the top part or the bottom part on, and it's just gonna look so adorable. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. to do. Or if you wanted to, you could actually just, if you're going to make it as a complete 1 unit, you could just top stitch this down right here, right now, and you wouldn't even have to worry about it. That would make such a beautiful little flower. But since we were gonna, the idea is to kind of keep them separate. So let's try and put everybody back in the pool here, and then come back around with this guy. Okay, and we will sew around the whole edge, leaving a gap to turn right side out. And leave it a big enough gap that you can take it out, like good, 2-3 inches. I'd say 3 to 4 inches. I'm not sure why I thought 2 was going to be enough. That's like 30 minutes for the binding for each side for a king size quilt. Anyways. Sorry, Lori. Just pin or clip to seal everybody in, except for a space to turn right side out. And you want to make sure you get in the back and the front. If some of those tails sticking past the point here, the circle, are bothering you, you can just trim them up. Start right here. Just follow the circle. Stop over here. More to go. That seems about right. A little back stitch. Alright, and then we just want to make sure that we've gone all the way around. Uh-oh. That looks a little wonky back there, but it looks like I still got it. Okay, let's see. Well, it's only going to be on the bottom anyways. So where's our gap? There we go. Okay. Now, slowly kind of reach in and grab for some of like the far petals and kind of gently pull them through. Okay. And then you can kind of just work your way around the circle edge to pop them all out. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. I like it better with the more petals, and in fact that one kind of shifted and it was a little bit all over the place. It just works towards it. Let it go, right? Just let it go and have some fun. Oh, there, it's so cute. I hope you make one. I really do. And then if you stack it, it looks really neat. Right? You stack them on top of each other. Make some sunflowers today. Grow your own. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you really enjoyed this content. We got more fun, fabulous stuff coming up, and we appreciate you. Thank you so much. Take care, and we'll see you soon.